And that might be the only way J.D. Vance followers ever hear any of that. It's entirely possible that followers of J.D. Vance might have no other source for that information except the video of me talking about it that J.D. Vance tonight decided to push out there into the heart of the Trump-Vance social media world, a sealed-off echo chamber where my voice is usually not heard. So thank you for that, Mr. Vice President. And J.D. Vance proved my point tonight by maintaining a Gerald Ford-like silence about his president's scandal in his interview on Fox. So J.D. Vance is still very much Gerald Ford tonight. Gerald Ford, as Vice President of the United States, spoke a number of times in a number of places while his president, Richard Nixon, was seeking into scandal and eventual resignation that would let Jerry Ford become president. Jerry Ford just never offered any defense of Richard Nixon's crimes as they were being revealed in an investigation and eventually in testimony by Richard Nixon's criminal co-conspirators in the White House, including White House counsel John Dean, who himself ended up convicted of crimes. And so, no, Mr. Vice President, simply submitting to a so-called interview on Fox with Sean, which avoids any possible mention of Jeffrey Epstein, does not in any way distinguish you from Gerald Ford and the way Gerald Ford handled President Nixon's collapse into scandal, disgrace, resignation, and finally being the recipient of a pardon for his crimes by the new president, Gerald Ford. The question tonight for the Vice President of the United States is, how far will you take your Gerald Ford imitation? If you, J.D. Vance, rise to the presidency, will you pardon Donald Trump? If J.D. Vance will answer that question with a simple no, then the comparison to Gerald Ford immediately evaporates. J.D. Vance's response to me tonight shows how dazed and confused the Trump team is.